Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie if you're new to my channel, and welcome to Beauty with the Purpose. Today we are here with you guys with a marriage Q&A. And so, excuse you, that was King.
Yeah.
And so we're going to answer some questions, and you guys will get to know more about us. So the first question is, how and where did we meet?
Meet.
M-E-E-T.
How did we meet? Through a dating app. In person, we first met at your father's house. It was a 4th of July barbecue. So that's how and where. So how on the internet, I guess you would say, social media. Where at your father's house.
Exactly.
Where was our first kiss and how was it?
Our first kiss was in Jao, New Mexico, when you were in the oil field. And it was great.
Why great?
Because you attacked my face.
Calm down.
You did.
Why would you say that?
You just kind of slapped one on me.
That sounds violent.
You know what I mean.
Just slap one on you.
It was an aggressive love kiss.
Where? Where at in jail?
At the hotel room.
Well, let's skip to the next question.
Nothing happened after that. Ooh, what was our first impression of each other? Do you want to answer this?
My first impression of you was that you were shy.
That I was shy?
Yeah. Because when I first met you that day on July 4th, I talked to your father more than I talked to you for like the first half of the time there. And then I remember Desiree coming in the kitchen acting like she was going to beat me up. Then she realized I was bigger than her.
Yeah, that's true. That was funny.
Me and your dad talked some more, and then we finally went outside to watch the fireworks.
Yeah, but then whenever we finally got
you talked to Faith more than you talked to me. And then I remember trying to get both of you guys to go get ice cream, us all hang out, and then you were talking to me, but you were still like shy, silent. So I just thought you were
not interested.
No, not interested. I wouldn't say not interested. I just thought you were scary. I guess
I was
a term to use. I thought you were.
I'll give you that.
Very timid and shy.
My first impression, because on Brian's profile, like his pictures did not do him justice. Like he was not what I expected in person. Like he's not very photogenic, I would say. Like he looks a lot better in person than in pictures. And I was just like, oh dang, okay. But I thought the same thing about him, but now that he points it out, it might have been because I was talking to my sister more that he didn't really talk.
Because remember when we first went out to eat, when I moved here to Lubbock, your grandma tried to shoot that slug like, oh, he's quiet, he's shy over there.
He was like, no, I'm not.
So what do you mean? No, I'm not. And then we got to talking and she was like, oh. Your whole family at the table was like, whoa, what?
Oh, it's your turn.
How did you know I was the one? I know this answer.
Through prayer.
Yep.
And well, it was a lot through prayer. So how I knew he was the one, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I was like, wait, hold up, no, I gotta pray. But all he heard was the no.
Yep.
And when I fasted from talking to him for a week, and I told myself it was only going to be a week. He didn't know I was going to fast for only a week. But at the end of that week, the day that I was going to start talking to him again, and he didn't know, he had sent me flowers. Mm-hmm. And the card was just really cute. And along the lines, it said, to Allie, my best friend, even if we don't become anything more, I want you to know that I still love you and I love our friendship. And I was like, I showed those flowers off all night because it actually happened to be a night whenever we had a Thrive group. And I had left the flowers. Yeah, and I left the flowers in the car, and I was showing them off to everybody because I thought it was so sweet. So that was confirmation that it was okay for me to start dating him. Now, how I knew he was my husband was we went to camp. I went to youth camp with our youth for 4 days. And it wasn't intentional to fast talking to him or anything like that, but the service out there was just so janky. He was out in the oil field, so his service was really janky. And I just prayed to God, and I was just like, okay, God, like, let me know somehow that if this is the man for me, let me know, give me a sign, I want to know. And at the same time, I got my prayer language when I was at camp. And so I started praying in tongues over it. And that same night, he called me and told me that he loved me.
You know something funny? That same camp is where I got my prayer language from.
Yeah. I went in 2016. He went last year. So I got my prayer language in 2016 at that camp. He got his prayer language last year at that camp. Okay, so how did you know I was the one for you?
I just asked you.
No, yeah, we both answered the question. Is how it's working.
No.
Yes. That's what the agreement was.
For me, I think it's different. I think guys are different. But not all guys are the same, of course. But for me, I knew you were the one probably way before you knew I was the one.
He says that all the time.
I do. I really do. I don't believe you have to. You do have to know someone. It does take time to know someone, but people will show you the real them sooner. I mean, in the first couple of days when you're getting to meet them, that's how I really believe it. A lot of scenarios play out. You get to know situations, especially if you sit down and talk to someone. So I knew I liked you, and I knew I would want to have a life with you. The first time we met, but I knew you were the one during the time that we took to get to know each other when we were talking more as friends. Yes, like when I could come to you looking for for help when I was in the oil field before we ever met. But when I knew you were the one is before we got married and the rape allegation that happened with my sister. And then instead of, getting me all turned up and going with me and like, yeah, go ahead and just go down there and do blase blah. Wreak havoc on somebody and go tear up the streets. You were like, nah, you can't do that. And this was before we had kids. I mean, the only person I had was Anaya and Brian. But you were, thinking big picture, hey, you go ahead and get back into that old lifestyle, then what? I mean, like I said, this was before marriage.
Right.
I mean,
and this was what was my main point, though?
No, but I'm saying for me, you were saying what would be the point of doing that? But I mean, I never had somebody to, I wouldn't say chill me out, but to take a step back and think like, hey, it's easy to turn up. What's going to be best,
Right.
Go ahead and be there for your sister. Go ahead and get that situation handled. But there's always there's a best way to do it. Like a lot of people say, well, vengeance is the Lord. I think they take that verse out of context. It's not that God would want you to do anything. It's that God would have you to do the right thing, take legal action, seek things the way God would have it be sought. And, because things in the flesh are only temporary, and things in the flesh can also manifest into a lot more chaos. So that's what you really showed me. Quit leading with your head. Lead with your spirit. Do what the Spirit of God would have for you. So when I saw that in you and you led me that way, I said, Lord, I know this is the one that you sent for me. Yeah.
King is just down here smiling at him as he talks. Ooh, I'm gonna ask this one, and I want us to say.
That's mine.
Is
my
it?
turn, yeah.
No, I thought you just...
I asked a question, then you just asked the same question right back.
Okay. Well, okay, don't do number 11, because I want to do number 11, and I want us to shout the first answer that pops into our head at the same time.
How do you resolve problems? And I don't want the correct answer, but just what comes
within our marriage, or just in general?
We'll do both of them.
what I've come to learn now within our marriage is I won't talk to him until I've told my flesh to shut up. Because if I speak to him out of my flesh when we're having a miscommunication issue, it just causes bigger problems. But before I learned that, I would just say it was ever on my mind. Yeah. And I didn't have no filter because I felt the truth is the truth. You got to tell the truth. Which doesn't justify me just saying what's on my mind. And that's how I used to go about it in the world too. Like, I'm going to just tell you what's on my mind. You take it for what it is. And we agree to disagree and we move on. But now I've just come to learn is not to go based off my feelings, and that's just within my marriage, and also with other people and just problems in my life. And this is my genuine answer, and what I really do is I pray. I don't believe I can solve anything on my own. I really don't, because if I try to do anything of myself, is never going to be successful, or be permanent. And so if I don't have God in it, that it's not going to flourish or come to fruition. So the question I want us to blurt out is, what key elements make a successful relationship and marriage? All right, 1, 2, 3. God. Yeah. For one, God. I don't believe you can have anything successful without God, as I just expressed. And 2, I would say communication.
Oh, yeah. So I guess that a couple.
And 3,
you gotta have communication. Yeah. Well, first and foremost, each individual must communicate with God. Mm-hmm. I mean, with God being both individuals' number one pillar. I mean, he'll be number one for both, but I can't have you above God. You can't have me above God in our relationship. Exactly. And then out of that, we have to learn how to communicate with one another. I mean, even if we couldn't talk, some form of communication, writing. I don't know if you could read eyeballs, but yeah, God and communication are key. Relationship. Within any relationship, right. Communication is key. And
I would think, like this one's a 2-part, but being on one accord and striving towards the same goal. Like having the same bigger picture in mind for your family.
What do you love about me?
Like, I feel like we sound so cliche because we are believers of Christ, but I really love his relationship with God that he has outside of the studies we do together, and outside of us attending church together, is that he still remains one with God and does studies on his own time and just strives to be that man of God constantly. It's not just a Sunday thing or Wednesday thing or whenever he's around me. It's constant. Okay, how many children do we have and how many do I want?
So, me total.
Us total, because they're all of our kids.
Us total. You're right. You're correct. Us total 5. Mm-hmm. I think you're done. I think you would want to go one more time for a girl, but if it's not a promise from God,
it's a no-go.
It's a no-go. So I guess 6. Mm-hmm. If God willing, it be a girl for the last one, because we have now 4 boys, 1 girl.
And 3 boys that live with us.
3 of the boys that live with us.
That are in our custody, should we say.
Right. But, yeah, I think you'd want a girl if God would promise us that this last one would be a girl. Right.
A crazy thing about kids, though, is whenever I was praying to God and I was telling God, I want 5 kids. Like, the amount of kids. You
wanted 5?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I want 5 kids. And what's so crazy is, like, I have very uncomfortable pregnancies. Like, that's the nicest way I could state it. within knowing that being able to get pregnant is a blessing and to have healthy pregnancies is a blessing. But I have very uncomfortable pregnancies, so I was like, Lord, I want 5 kids, but I don't want them to all have to come from my womb. Like, and what's so crazy is I had 1 kid when we first met. He had 2, and then we had 2 together. So now I have 5 kids.
But before we even had Bryson, we were thinking about adoption.
Yeah, to get our 5 kids.
Because you were telling me how your pregnancy with Ethan went.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about adoption, and then you got pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What places do you want to travel to?
So what places do you want to travel?
You, in particular.
Oh, you're asking me what places do I want to travel? Well, I answered the last question, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I just talked. I didn't answer. What places do I want to travel? I wouldn't say I'm really not a person who wants to travel. I feel like I've watched too many weird movies.
What, like Hostel?
Hostel, Taken. Like...
I thought that one was in America when she was taken the first time.
No, she was in Paris.
Did you just say, oh?
I don't know. I think if I really wanted to travel anywhere, I really don't know.
You don't have like a dream place to visit?
If I went anywhere and it's just because I love pasta, it would be Italy.
Italy?
Yeah, just to eat. What is my favorite TV show?
Grey's Anatomy. You haven't watched it.
I think that's any woman's favorite TV show.
Any person who likes drama.
Well, I mean, if you have a life with no drama, of course it's entertaining to watch fake drama.
On to the next one. What is my favorite color?
Green.
That was going to be hard for you.
No.
Even though I'm colorblind.
Right. I don't even know what shade of green he likes because he don't even know what shade of green he likes.
I just know green's my favorite color.
Who is my best friend? Don't get this wrong because you just heard it in a video.
What video?
The one I was literally editing day before yesterday.
So,
And
Thursday?
yeah.
We went to the gym.
Or Friday. No, we didn't go to the gym Thursday. Because I wasn't feeling good.
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to go to the jail to visit. Your best friend.
Person I can tell anything to. The person that's there for me.
Oh, I guess that would be a big black guy.
A big black guy.
Well, that's what y'all call me. I don't see it. So me.
So you're right.
But I think I wouldn't say that I'm not.
But you're not my only best friend.
Right. Because you talk to your sisters, and every time you talk to them, you're always giggling.
Yeah. They're my silly friends.
No, they're not silly. Y'all just...
We laugh at everything for no reason. Just because we tell each other hi, we laugh. Like, that's how goofy
I thought me and my brother had some memories, and y'all laugh at everything in y'all's past.
Me and Destiny.
Whoopings. Vacations. I mean, it's good to sit back and...
Reminisce.
Yeah, reminisce. But dang, I'll find the laughter in everything.
Everything?
Everything.
What's that off of?
I can't remember the movie.
Cat Williams.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's not a movie, it's a stand-up comedy.
Right.
What is something I do that you wish I wouldn't?
Something you do that I wish you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, probably makeup. That I can just think of right now. And it's not that I don't like you when you wear makeup. I just see natural beauty.
Yeah, he doesn't think I need it. Doesn't understand why I wear it. Yeah. Pretty much.
And I mean, I understand, but then I understand as well. So
yeah.
But off the top of my head, probably makeup. Now, personal. Oh, I know. When you're like, we can have a conversation be going on, and like when you get antsy or when you like have something on the tip of your tongue, you go, oh, but look, and you like cut me off like I wasn't talking. You're like, well, I have to say it before I lose it. I mean, you can make a whole conversation go left field or like in a whole different directive. And then the topic at hand that we were speaking of that we're speaking on can get lost because whatever was on your mind
just had to be let out.
Just had to be let out.
You know
that
what? You know what popped into my head? Whenever I cut the coupons up before you can look at them.
Yeah, I don't like that either. But you're at home more than I am, so
yeah.
Sometimes when I get off, last thing on my mind is looking at the mail.
Coupons.
I know you don't know this. What's my favorite food?
Tacos. No, Panda Express.
I knew you would know it.
What is it?
I like food.
Just food?
Yeah. But no, you're right.
But when
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
If you categorize it, if it's a home cooked meal, tacos.
Yeah.
But if we do go out,
it's Panda
Express. You're right, though. So I guess it's not just food.
Ooh. What can I spend hours doing?
Looking at makeup. Watching makeup tutorials. Being in Ulta and Sephora. Anything around the makeup community.
Don't make it seem like I'm just vain.
I didn't say you were vain. But now you see why I don't like that you like makeup.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. I mean,
I think I have a very healthy
I think it's
balance.
balanced. Yeah, because I'm saying because if when I get home, like I like to see like when I get home to see what you're actually doing. So if it's not cleaning the house or getting your makeup channel going or editing videos, you're sitting down even doing your Jesus chats, reading your Bible. Of course, a lot of people don't see the things that you have to do with the kids and preparing our house and paying bills and things like that. But I mean, when you do have you time to like chillax and go do what will probably decompress yourself, usually around, getting a new Bible, getting some new study material, or, looking at new makeup, seeing what's...
I will literally online window shop for makeup. Like,
yeah.
I have an Ulta cart full of makeup that I'll probably never buy. My total's not a pretty total of stuff that I want. Maybe I should do a video of that, like my Ulta wish list.
Let's see if you're keeping up with me. What's my favorite sports team?
When we first got married, it was the Lakers and the Cowboys, but now he's just a fan of sports.
Wrong.
Fan of the game.
There you go. Because I don't believe in a man should be a fan of another man. It's the quickest way to putting a person up as an idol. So
he's just a fan of the game.
I had to learn that because a lot of the players that were my favorite players, I got to learn some detailed history about them. And a lot of what they indulge in, a lot of things that they do in their personal time, is just something I wouldn't lead my spirit or have my kids would probably want to grow up and do. I mean, they're talented men. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are, the gifts that they have are only God-given, and then they stretch out their limitations. But I just don't believe a man should be another. And if a man's going to be a fan, he should be a fan of his father and, a man after God's heart. But I don't have a favorite. Just to make a long story short, I don't have a favorite team. Used to. I just really love the game, football, basketball. I love all sports, but just not a particular fan of just any one team anymore.
I said this is one for both of us to answer. What do you two do for a living, and are you using your college degree?
Right now, I work at a chemical plant. I'm not using my degree. I wanted to give it to the kids. But I might end up going back to school to switch up career fields before I hit too late in my age. That's one thing my dad has taught me about. I mean, what I do now, I can make a career out of it. But as far as using my college degree, I have not used it. Or any college income that I have. It's just a quicker way into debt, and I don't want to be in debt. Right now,
I am a homemaker. And I used to really dislike that phrase when I was working, because I'm a nationally registered certified medical assistant, which means I can go be a medical assistant anywhere in America. It's not just for Texas. And I have used that when I was a single mom before I met Brian. And so I did put my degree, I guess, to use. But I used to get so bothered when people would say homemaker because I'm like, all you do is stay at home. But now that I am one, I'm just like, it's so much more. Like, my job doesn't stop. It's from when I open my eyes till I close my eyes, and sometimes even in between.
Can I say something? To probably be encouraging to not just you, but any female or woman. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, you can.
Any homemakers out there, if you really just want to, who might be like Allie, who thought that term might have been like derogatory or just
like just loosely used, just to make it seem like you were important.
Right. If you don't feel like you're important, just look at the two words in that word, homemaker. I mean, you make the home be peaceful. You bring restoration. You bring life to the house. I mean, if you're doing the callings of what it is to make the home be the home, I mean, it's not easy, you know.
Right.
And most homemakers are females or women, so I mean, the house is clean, you know.
Right.
I don't put a stigma on men that men can't be homemakers, but any homemaker, I mean, you make the home what the home is.
Right, and biblically, women are really so powerful. We get groceries and we make meals. Like,
you bring life to the house.
The man provides. Pastor, right, it was a pastor that he was watching one day, and I heard him saying, you know, and this may sound a little gross if you're younger watching it, but you give a woman sperm and she gives you a baby. Like, you give her groceries, she gives you food, a meal. Yeah. You give her a house, she makes it a home. And so there's a lot that goes into it.
Okay, who's my best friend?
I'm going to say me first because I want to say me first. No, first God, then me, then Gilbert. Just because I have to make him seem lower.
I hope you don't watch this.
So I be hating.
I can tell. I see that. No, that it's really in that order. You know, if it's a relationship, if I need another man's opinion other than my father, you know, my closest friend here is Brother Gilbert. Yeah. But if it's something that I don't need a man's help with, and I just want to talk. First and foremost, like when I'm at work, I'm always talking to God. I'm always watching or listening to a sermon or two, or looking at some writings that I can, break down for my own edification. But yeah, it's in that order, somewhat. You three. I'll just say God's number one.
Weird habits of each other. So what weird habits do you think I have, and what weird habits do I think you have? Brian loves to pick at bumps.
Yes.
I cannot, and thank God my skin has cleared up to the point to where it has, because he will not let me have a pimple and let it go away by itself.
Nope.
Like, he'd probably pop
but
it in. But
is that weird?
That is a weird habit.
I don't know. I think that's common.
Think popping bumps is weird.
No, I think that's common. I think a lot of people
comment down below. Is popping bumps weird?
I bet you
common?
If anybody would to not Google but YouTube pimple popping.
Well, I
bet you pimple popping videos have a lot of views.
I like to watch them. I don't like to do it. I pop your bumps for you because I
think it's 60-40. I think more, maybe even higher. I think a lot of people do it.
Okay.
Or not, it's not a fetish. It's just what did you call it at first?
Weird habit.
I wouldn't say a habit either. It's just like you don't see that? Like, that needs to be popped. It clearly is protruding out of the skin. Like,
I don't even have any breakouts.
Yeah, you're all scared.
It's gonna pop it.
Like an example, Brianna.
Yeah.
When I went over to my grandma's house. My grandma was like, here comes Brian. You know he gonna get that pimple. And she knew she wasn't gonna get away, so I got my sister and boop. Let's see, weird habits of yours. Mm-hmm. What does mommy do that's weird? Yeah. What does mommy do that's normal? Let's start there.
So everything I do is weird.
I think I can find out what's weird quicker if I look at what you do as normal.
I can think of one thing that you always say.
What?
I dance when I get food. Like I do a little jig when I eat.
Hold King. So last night, was it last night? It was last night. Me and my brother-in-law, we were playing FIFA. And I was destroying them on the sticks.
Oh my goodness.
And one of the games I was beating them like 4-0, right? And I scored a goal. I had a hat trick with a player. Hat trick meaning you got 3 points or 3 goals. Right, so I did your dance. I was like, and then it's funny that you say you dance when you get food, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, doing your dance. So yeah, I think that is funny that every time you get food, you're like just. But not, so and it's not just you now. Like the boys do it too. Only boy that doesn't do it is Ethan. I think because I broke it out of Ethan since I was with him since he was little. Yeah. Like Ethan's just like, okay, we getting food now. Like he's like me. We gonna eat when we get home. I mean, the food's not going anywhere now. But you, King, King dances when he sees a bottle. Bryson just gets all jittery, and then you just dancing all over the place. But I think me and Ethan are just like, okay. What used to bother me, a big pet peeve.
Like it's a weird habit?
Yeah, like a weird habit. Every time we would get food and there was like something finger food in there, like something you can grab. Yeah, you would always eat out of the bag. And I'm like, yo, you can't wait till we get home? Like,
nope.
It used to bother me. Like,
yeah, but he broke that habit. I don't do it anymore.
Ooh, I know you don't know this. If you know this, I'd be shocked. What is my heritage and where am I from?
Your heritage from your father is Irish. Mm-hmm. Where you're from, like, born in Arizona. We just said, why do I feel like I say that weird?
Arizona. How do you feel it should be said?
I don't know. Like, I just feel like every time it comes out of my mouth,
just say Tucson then.
Yeah, Tucson. Lived in California. Mm-hmm. But your dad's from, what is it, South Carolina? Mm-hmm.
So it's a mixture.
Yeah.
My oldest brother's maybe a little darker than you, and he has red hair, blonde hair. A lot of people don't believe me. I'm the darkest one in my family. Between my mom and my dad. So they look at my last name, McKithen. A lot of people want to say McKitchen. I've been called everything on the book, McKitty. Like, you don't see 2 T's and a Y in there. I don't understand where you're getting that from. But yeah, my last name is Irish. Mm-hmm. But also the red hair and the light skin comes from being Indian, the Carolinas. I mean, if anyone wants to know more about their heritage, you can just look at the settlers from way back in the 1600s, 1500s as well, in those particular regions. But my father's side, they're Indian, Irish, and what I guess you would call black. My grandmother, my mom's mom, her father was French. He was Creole, so that's why they're light as well on my mom's side. The reason why I'm so black, and just to make a short story out of it, is because when I was a kid, they made us play outside all the time. And see, the light skins in my family, they got to take milk baths, and I've told you about the milk baths.
Since you were already dark, they were like, oh well.
So since I was already kind of crispy, they just said, okay.
You're just extra brown chocolate biscuit.
Yeah. I mean, like, if Ryan was here, everyone would be like, okay, you guys are brothers, but he's a little lighter than you. I even have cousins, like, my cousins who are singing. My cousin was only 3 months different from me. He's about your complexion. Maybe a little. No, he has more of a red tone to you than you do. But, yeah, my heritage is Irish, a little Indian as well. Predominantly, I guess what you would call black. But yeah, and where I was born was Tucson, Arizona, but I grew up with my father in California.
What is my favorite restaurant?
It depends on what you want. So, let's see. Overall, her favorite restaurant. I want to say Fazoli's because it has pasta. No? What?
You're close, but it's not Fazoli's.
What is it?
Olive Garden.
I don't know. I didn't remember that. Did I play any sports?
All sports. You've played at least every sport. The only one I haven't heard of you play is golf and tennis. Are the only ones I haven't heard stories about.
Well, you're wrong. Only sport I've never played was golf.
I said that I haven't heard
tennis.
stories about.
I've never attempted to play tennis. But yes, I have played all sports. I grew up with an older cousin who was like a phenom in soccer. And because he played soccer, I played soccer. So soccer was the first sport I wanted to play. And then from there, soccer went to baseball, football, and then basketball honestly was one of the last sports I picked up, basketball and golf. I didn't golf until I was like in high school. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how good I was in football because I loved basketball so much. But yeah, I've done almost everything besides lacrosse. I don't know any brothers who do that. Yeah. Played a little rugby before, but yeah. Only thing I've never given a shot at is tennis.
Who was the one to say I love you first, and where was it?
Me. I think you were at camp at that time.
We had just made it back from camp that night.
Yeah.
And it was 2:00 in the morning when he called me and told me.
Oh, puppy love. Your daddy even had puppy love. You got to teach him about that. Yeah, it's not funny though.
He said,
it's not funny.
I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want you to say nothing back.
And
I was like, okay, like half asleep. And I think that it's like a life or death situation. And he was like,
are you laughing at me?
I love you. Click. Like he was not trying to let me say nothing back. It wasn't, he said a lot more than just I love you, click, but it was so cute.
But yeah, I was the first one to say it. What do we argue about the most? I know this. Might be different for you though.
I would say the only times that I've seen us get really, really frustrated is over the Word of God. Mm-hmm. And usually, and it's not a matter of being who's right or who's wrong. It's really not. But usually we'll let it be, and then the other one will come back and say, you're right. This is what God's, not that we're right, but
something be revealed. Yeah,
something will have been revealed to us. But usually we can get in some pretty heated disagreements about the Word of God. We do not play about that, and especially not him, with him being the leader of the household.
You don't play about it. I just know what it says. I mean, and if I'm wrong, I seek guidance. Not to say I know it because I read it. She doesn't know because she doesn't read it. There's been a lot of times that you've steered me in a way that I might have been thinking opposite. Mm. But I wouldn't say that that's the number one thing we argue about.
What is it?
I think it would be like hygiene, prepping, because I take a long time. And then there's times where I'm ready and then you're not ready. And then you're doing makeup.
And it's not even so much that we argue, because we really don't argue. We just get frustrated with each other, and then we're just silent until like we get over our hissy fit.
It's like, I think punctuality is the thing I'm trying to say. Like, you try to speed rush me to get ready because I cramp and I get ready.
Right. And then there's days you have to rush me.
Yeah, and then there's like, no, it's not even days. I mean, within the same... in the same day, it's like, okay, you were just rushing me, and you're okay, hold up, let me do my makeup real quick. I'm like, we have to be there in 15 minutes, not leave out of here in 15 minutes. I think punctuality is one of the major things that we argue about.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, going to the gym and then getting the girls from youth.
But I didn't feel like we got frustrated with each other, though.
I was getting frustrated because you were like trying to rush me about cutting my hair, getting ready to go, and then finding my clothes to get ready to go to the gym, then making the gym bag, getting the boys in the car, and then you were just like, well, never mind, the bus got pulled over, and then you're like, okay, well, we got more time.
But I wasn't rushing you, though. I was just letting you know. Like, I was trying to come up with a game plan.
I felt rushed.
See, like, sometimes I'm not even rushing him. I'm just trying to figure out the game plan. Like, how is this going to flow?
Well, then just ask.
What are we going to do?
I mean, Communication, right?
I was asking, but obviously you felt like I was rushing you.
No, because you were telling me.
Okay.
It's different. If you ask somebody
I guess my
something,
questions sound like statements. What is my most repeated phrase or sentence? Not to do with my channel, so don't even go there. Of course I have to say that all the time.
I was making fun of you about that the other day. Just remember, I love you, but Jesus loves you more. It would have to be something off of ATL, because that's your favorite movie.
No, so there's one that you constantly point out.
What?
And I don't even realize I say it as much as I do.
What's that?
Golly.
Oh, yeah. That's your number one. That is... Yeah, because whenever I do something just to mock you, I just... Golly. Golly gosh. Golly.
I know what yours is.
What?
And it's always because Brian's always trying to prove a point. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Man, I've been saying that for years. Don't worry. Like, I'll ask a question. Don't worry, I'll wait. Ain't got nothing but time for you. Ain't got nothing but time for you, King. Put your dukes up. It's my turn, right?
How long have we been together, relationship and marriage?
I think most guys don't know this unless... Not for any guy who's out there, but unless you're a simp. I don't know. I'll be forgetting all the time. Because I can't remember the first day that we started talking.
We started talking?
It's like Gilbert and Danielle. They go off, like, Danielle goes off the first time they spoke. Like, when they hung out.
Right.
No, she goes off the first time.
Well, I can say both. I can say all three.
Oh, my God. I don't remember. I just know July 4th.
March of 2016 is when we first started.
What day?
I don't remember exactly what day. March of 2016 is whenever we started talking. July 4th of 2016 is when we first met. And I told him he was my boyfriend.
It wasn't July 4th.
No, that was August 5th.
Yeah. I know that much.
July 4th is whenever we met. August 5th is when I told him he was my boyfriend. October 2nd is whenever we got married. And that's all in 2016. So no matter what, they're all coming up on 3 years. When we first met, just passed. Or when we first started talking, just passed.
Yep.
They're all coming up on 3 years. We wasted no time.
Most people don't know, though, I was a pen pal before.
He was not a pen pal.
It's all right, though. I mean, I got to learn your situations, understand if that was something I wanted to get into. So, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you guys moved fast. No, I think I took the wisdom and understanding that I needed to take before, just getting into somebody else's life and understanding not only one person's life was I entering, but another's, that being Ethan's. And, I took precautions, understood what was going to be going on. So a lot of people think, that's why I think people's motives and wherever your heart is at, if you take the precautions of God and doing the will of the Father and what He would have for your life, I mean, eventually we got to make our own decisions. But if you just lean out to your own understanding and what God would have for you, and then, make your decisions. Is that something you truly see yourself doing? Something that you see yourself wanting, being faithful and abiding by whatever you're going to have? Yeah. Then make it. If not, use your own judgment. Nah, I can't see myself being who that person needs me to be.
And not only that, this is one thing I've been stressing, and we just had a sleepover with two of our youth girls. And
no, not we.
Well, I had a sleepover. Brian went and slept over at... He had a sleepover too, it just wasn't here.
And we play video games.
It's a sleepover.
No, that's what all guys do. When Gilbert comes over, we just talk, play video games, and watch sports.
Yeah, but that's still a sleepover.
And we don't even play video games half the time. Gilbert's always cooking, barbecuing.
He went to stay at my sister's house with her husband while she came and stayed the night over here.
You could just said my brother-in-law. Other than
his brother-in-law. Well, our brother-in-law. But it's something I was even stressing to the youth girls last night, and just telling them, because of course when you're a 14-year-old girl or 14-year-old boy, that's when your interest is really growing to be, in the opposite sex and wanting to date. And one thing I just encourage anybody is that if you're dating, it should only be with the intentions of marrying that person. Because why else would you be dating? when you're living a kingdom lifestyle, what other intention should there be within dating? None.
I'm gonna cut you off there, and I don't usually. Most people don't see my input in your channel, but I'm gonna throw input right now. This is just me in my household, and this goes for my boys. And my father did this to me, but I now understood. I don't condone relationships when a child is in middle school or high school.
Well, I don't either, but...
I mean, at the ages of 14, 18, you're really starting to see the changes in your body and changes within yourself. And here comes our busybody, Bryson.
Come here, baby. Over here.
You want him or you gonna get Bryson? But back to the topic of relationship. I don't see why... Here comes the next one now. You wanna come sit with us?
Yeah.
But I don't... The reason why I said condone is because a child is sent to school, or, you know, whether it's homeschool or public schooling, whatever type of schooling it is, the child's sent there to learn and to be educated. The last thing in your mind is what someone thinks about what you're wearing or what you're doing, how you look. You're supposed to be going to school to edify your mind and get better and learn a trait, know what you're going to do, learn a skill, get ready for the real world. So that's why I say that no child should really be dating. If a child's wanting a job or wanting satisfaction, you know, your job, first and foremost, is to honor your parents. Secondly, do what your parents are, you know, putting it forth in your life and going to school.
Get your brother snack.
And then, you know, within the school frame, you know, learn yourself out, and then learn, you know, what trait, what skill you want to develop. Learn your hobbies. Learn what, you know, you want to do with your life. And then become a human being, a productive human being in this society.
Bryson,
Bryson about to mess everything up. This is a daddy's boy right here, Bryson.
Yes.
Everyone says he looks like me. You want some juice? You want some juice?
All right, guys. Well,
we're
gonna
bye.
save the rest of what Brian has to say because we're actually about to
Save?
Yeah, because we're actually going to do a video next on biblical parenting and our looks on parenting, where we have our common grounds and what we stand for as our household serving the Lord. And so we love you guys, but Jesus loves you more.
She's trying to get me on
And
the camera again.
we will see you guys in our next video.
Hey, look,
Mwah.
Mommy's ending. Say bye, guys.
Say bye, guys.
Not like King and Bryson. Y'all just see everything, huh? Y'all don't discriminate. Yeah, you. 20-pound, 4-month baby. Yeah. 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 Want to get mama some sugars? You always say it when we're at the house. Oh, we are at home. You always say it when
we're not recording.
Watch Ethan come say it. Say bye, guys.
Bye,
Look.
Get in the camera, they can't see you.
Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.
Mwah.